Hello everyone, let's look at Nifty again. Today is Tuesday and the Nifty has moved up significantly from that little correction that we saw there. So let's talk about what's happening and how is it that we got here. There is some context to this that is quite important, and I'll kind of show you how you look at a certain stock or a index or even an F&O, whatever you want to look at, a chart in general, and look for significant areas that are indicating a breakout. Right? That's going to be super important going forward. That is going to be the center of focus for most trading for you. So if you look at the Nifty here, these are levels that we've drawn previously. And in the 4 weeks past, every video has indicated levels at various stages that have actually impacted the market, provided support, resistances as well, and how the market was doing through this entire flow here, plus how it's actually planning and moving up towards this breakout. I've got the same levels here as the last video. We make minor adjustments to this week on week. And please also note that this is for educational purposes. This is not investment advice. Do read the disclaimer in the description box. So we make these minor adjustments because the market itself fundamentally changes week on week and month on month and every day as well. But we don't look at extremely short term things. So that's why we make changes weekly. That's why these videos are every Tuesday. Do let me know if you need a different frequency. If you'd like to look at something else, I'm happy to have a look at that as well. I've added another different thing here to show you how the market's been indicating these breakthroughs or breakouts, right? Technically, zones of importance that are going to form well ahead of time that will keep you informed. You'll have to look at these zones of importance from a long-term trend perspective as well, meaning that whatever happens in the zones of importance, you'll have to play your trades in favor of the long term, meaning towards the side that the market's moving. So if the market's moving downwards, that is your first assessment of the market. You would assess that first, and then based on these important zones, you would trade the market in that same direction. Because the direction away, the opposite direction, is generally shorter and unpredictable because there's pressure towards that direction overall. In layman terms, play the market in its own direction towards its own strength. So let's zoom out a little. Let's actually look at some of these. If you look at just the monthly candles, this is what the Nifty is doing so far. The correction that's happening here in August, not a very significant one. If you look at the monthly candles, we've actually made large gains. Yes, there have been pullbacks, there are long tails, there are pauses, but there's been significant gain as well. So what I've done now is I've plotted 3 zones here for our interest. One was a long-term zone of interest that popped up that told us that, okay, this market's going to turn for the long term. 2 were for the medium term that we've seen succeed here really, really well. So if you look at these 2 here that have been plotted, one in the corner here, one at the top here, these are 2 zones of interest that the market had popped up very clearly early on. So if you're looking at the market in March, which came up all the way from the bottom here in November last year, in March, before March as well, you started seeing these scattered candles forming, some volatility, high opening, not a lot of movement. And then in March, we saw this indication here. This indication indicated a bottom of 21,860. So you can see how 21,860 became a key level here at elections as well. When the election results were coming out, all the announcements, all the volatility and uncertainty was in the market. So March 2024, the market indicates what levels the index is going to touch in June 2024. Right? Well, 4 months well ahead of it, of those events. So that is how price performance works. That is how powerful it is. And you can see very clearly what happens here. There is a zone formed at the top of this that takes us from here at the bottom of this, that takes us here, and the market remains in this zone for some time until it finally breaks out of it and launches forward. Right, so these are some levels that are going to be important to watch These are zones of interest that you should always look out for. And they'll always tell you significant breakouts that are going to happen. So this is one of them. The second one formed here in July, which was a basis of a lot of the levels that I was plotting. Um, you can look at basically uh, in the short term, you can look at the bottom of this candle and the top of this candle. This little zone here in the short term is going to be a zone of resistance and support. That's what the Nifty did as well. It came down, sagged a little, went back into the zone, popped up. The bigger indication came here. Again, there is sag beyond that as well. And then there is an indication that there is a breakthrough now. The same levels apply. 24,880 is a support now, is still going to act like a resistance if the market dips under that. There could be a possibility of correction, but looking at all of these zones, how they formed, there could be a longer period of sideways action trending upwards, or there could just be a zone, a movement up very quickly like this once the breakthrough happens. So you can see here that breakouts happen on both sides, um, temporarily out of the zone as well. The zone is an indication, it will not be an exact. It is one of those buy on dips scenarios here because the market's, like I said initially, trending upwards in favor of the market movement. So you'll have to buy on dips. If the market was trending downward, then it would have been sell on moves, right? So that is what the Nifty is doing currently. It's actually trading above this zone. It's broken out slightly. I wish the breakout was stronger. Hence, I would say maybe there will be another test, right? If there's another test, again, you just buy on dips is what I see currently. If you look at the long-term indicator also, this happened way back in July 23. The bottom formed in March. There were some indications here telling us that the market's going to go up. There was a very short sideways zone here that formed, and you can see immediately that the market goes up, fails at it, tests it. Again, buy on dips because it's in favor of the market direction. And then once you bought it here, the market went up, right? Similar zones end up forming even when the market's going down. You have to watch out for those. Those are going to be super important. In the short term, it's going to be 24,800 to about 2,400. So about a 400 point zone here that we're still seeing a bullish indication, but then testing is definitely going to happen. So the market might zoom away from here or might test and then bounce away. So this month is almost at the end of it. It's still a critical one though, because it dictates what's coming up in the next month. In the next couple of months, September and October, we see the Nifty trying to form a top or trying to indicate an overbought, the start of an overbought zone. So Nifty is not yet overbought. Now we have to understand that this is a aggregated index, meaning that there are parts of the Nifty that are overbought already. And I've talked about some of these stocks in my videos as well. You can please go through those. Those are actually helpful. What is going to happen in between that is that the Nifty is going to try and make as much of a gain as possible. Now, that might be 25,000, approximately where the Nifty is currently. That might be 30,000. Right? We did a Fibonacci projection video as well on the Nifty. That'd be a good watch right now to understand what levels we've projected on the Nifty. Those remain the same. There isn't much of a difference in the sense of projected targets because they're approximates anyway. So 25,000, 30,000 are still targets. Currently, the Nifty is trying to break out of this zone. This is an interesting area to watch for trades. 23,813, 24,286, 24,542, and 24,880. These are zones of support and resistance. Obviously, if these break, especially 23,813, this has moved up slightly actually. It's moved up to, I think, 23,920. I'll update this in the next video following week. I haven't done it now because the Nifty looks like it's just trading the same zone. If there are significant moves, the end of the month is coming up. There will definitely be significant changes and I'll update them for you in the next video on Tuesday. Until then, this is what you need to watch on the Nifty. And this is how price performance looks. And this is a powerful price performance is in terms of predicting the markets and understanding which direction or where, not just the direction, which direction and where you can enter a trade for quick benefits too. I'm looking to post some videos on short-term trend analysis too. If you're interested, do let me know, comment, like, and subscribe so that I can understand what you like on the channel. Let me know what else you'd like to see. And thank you for watching.